All right.
Speaking of not seeing playoffs for a team, transition.
I think that's rough.
I don't
We'll go
actually
into it.
know whether or not.
Inter Miami. They're roster compliant. They're brand new.
Maybe they're roster compliant.
Maybe they're roster compliant.
We'll find out next year.
Definitely maybe. And you've got I would argue that this, outside of an expansion year, like their first year, has to be the most transfers in and out a team has ever made in MLS. I think they're pushing like 20.
Yeah, it was a long list to go through.
Unbelievable. Gary Neville takes his team that finished 11th in the East last year, 12, 5, and 17, 41 points into another season. But is it his team or is it a new team? It's a new team.
It's a new team.
It is an extremely new team. As we mentioned, there are so many changes. If you look at transfer market, you know, they have that little if somebody came in, they have like the club crest and then an arrow. Almost every single person has that. It's unbelievable. Actually, I'll count it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 of their 31 players came in since July of last year. That's absurdity. So here's what we think that their 11 might look like. They'll probably go 5 in the back. But I have them 5, but I don't know if it'll be definitely 5. In goal, I don't know who's starting in goal. Diop, Marsman, or Dos Santos, any of those 3 can probably start. And it's really just going to be who earns the spot on day one. My guess is you'll see all 3 of them at some point, because I think watching them, they had a few that were just really not great. Yedlin at right back, Damian Lowe, Aim Mabika, and McVeigh at a center back 3 with Gibbsy on the left. Gregory and Malta make up a center mid 2 with Rodriguez, Robinson, and either Higuain or Campagna, the Wolves loanee, at left wing. There are a lot of other players that might feature in here. Did they get better?
No.
I said that it was a full roster rebuild. They can't really get much worse, but they did get more youth potential and some MLS experience. So I'm going to say, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with no. I don't think they got better.
All right. What do they need to get better then?
I feel like they need a stronger attack. I like Gregory in the midfield. He's been a lone bright spot for them. I'm not sold at all on this back line. And especially as we talk about MLS 4.0, at this moment, I think this back line gets torched. I think whoever ends up in goal is going to have a lot of saves to make, because I don't love Gibbs and Yedlin as wing backs or full backs. They're great going forward, in my opinion, but I don't know how much they're going to give you defensively. And then your back line is Damian Lowe, who's never played a game in MLS before. Mobika, who I think has very limited experience in the league. And McVeigh, who's listed as a right back and then would play in a back 5. I think they need to improve defensively, especially with the way this league is adding attacking talent.
That's interesting. I think they've made great strides in their back line. Personally, I think they're set up for a really good year. Personally, did they improve during the window? I'm sorry. Players that they still need for me. I put NA. I need to see people play. They've brought in so many people. I can't tell you if they need more or less. Best edition, go.
I think I'm a bit high on this person. I could definitely be talked out of this one, but I really like the addition of Bryce Duke.
Me too. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I think he's got high potential in the midfield for them, and with how much this team has changed, I think he's got the chance to really get into that starting 11 and to get a lot more game time than he was before with LAFC. So I think this is a good move to bring him in and maybe try to develop, I don't know, the next like Busio type player here and just, build a homegrown, well, not necessarily, but build a young American midfielder and sell him off to Europe.
I also had Duke. I thought as a youth national team member who has a lot of upside, I think that he's definitely somebody you can build around for the future. And definitely, like you said, sell on and start creating that little pipeline.
Yep.
Biggest loss for me, I'm going to say Lewis Morgan. I think he probably, out of all the people who left, had the biggest upside. But I'm sure that, there are so many you can pick from. I'm sure you got somebody else.
No, I was actually thinking Lewis Morgan also.
You stink.
No, I don't. I took a shower.
Yeah, there are so many you could have picked from. Nicholas Figal, LGP, Leardom, Patrick Segrist.
Oh, Pat Segrist.
Federico Higuain, Christian McCoon, Matthias Pellegrini, Rodolfo Pizarro, and you're going to go with the same guy that I said?
Yeah, because I think Morgan had very high potential and I think they could have easily sold him onto Europe for good money had they stuck with him and played him in the correct positions. He was their best player for probably their entire existence.
Maybe. All right. Who is your player to watch?
Bryce Duke.
He's
what'd you say?
I don't even think he's going to play.
He may not, but I think if he gets the game time, I think he would be exciting to watch. Probably a breath of fresh air for Inter Miami. And plus, I don't really want to watch many of these other players. Maybe Robbie Robinson, I think would be a good one. And now he had a lot of hype coming in when he was drafted, and I think he got hurt, so we haven't really seen too much of him. But I guess just to stray from Duke, since I picked him as the best signing, I'll go with Robbie Robinson to watch.
The correct answer is Mabika, excuse me, simply because he played for UK, and it's a big deal over here. No, I'm just kidding. When he made 2 appearances last year, and I know that's not a ton, but he was fantastic in those 2 appearances. One of them was against Red Bull, and we did beat them 4-0, but he was their best player on the field. He was basically covering for everybody else. And the game he played after that, he was fantastic in as well. He's going to start this year, no question. And I think he will be challenging for one of the best defenders of the year this year.
That's a bold statement.
Yep. All right. Big question. What do you got?
My big question is, how many of these young guys get game time this year? Do they kind of start to flip the script and play the young guys and build them up, or do they try to continue to make the playoffs and win by playing more of their experienced guys?
Interesting. For me, the entire team has been replaced. What's the shape? What's the system? And what is Gary Neville going to do with this new team? He's already been given one shot to work with a relatively brand new team, and now he's going to go do it again. We'll see. Good part about that, though, nobody can prepare for your first few games because nobody knows what you're going to look like. All right, let's finish this up because my computer's dying. Where do you have them finishing?
I'm definitely lower on this team than I think you are, just based on our conversations so far. I kind of think that they're between like the 9 and 12 range.
Oh, God.
You say that about every single time I place a team. You're like,
you're wrong. It's tough to not react like that when you're always wrong. Because you would think like, oh, maybe he's learned. But he hasn't. You never learn. The answer is between 6 and 9. Maybe.
You're way too high on them.
Maybe in, maybe out. These guys are going to be good.
Yeah. Okay.
They're going to be good. I'm hyped. Now, this has nothing to do with me being hyped like Houston last year or FCC last year. This is a different.
This is your Houston 2.0 right here.
It very well may be, and they might be awful, but I am all aboard, baby. That way.
He's on the Inter Miami hype train.
Oh man. All right. Well, that is it for season 3, episode 6. That one went a little quicker than I thought it would.